me ask you something. What if the safest path was actually the most dangerous one? What if the job you hate, the degree you're chasing, or the plan your parents approve isn't your dream at all, but just a quiet way to shrink who you really are? What if doing what everyone else calls smart was the very thing keeping you average? Because here's the truth. Comfort zones don't keep you safe. They keep you small. They don't protect your potential. They postpone it. And while you're busy ticking boxes, someone else is breaking them. So the real question is, will you follow the path that was handed to you, or will you finally build the one that was made for you? Reed Hastings grew up quiet, book-smart, reserved, not loud, not flashy, not someone chasing fame, just a curious mind trying to make sense of the world, a bit like most of us. He followed the rules, the smart path, got a solid degree in maths, served in the Peace Corps, teaching students in Swaziland. On paper, he was doing everything right, but inside, something felt wrong. Even while he was checking all the right boxes, he kept hearing that quiet voice. This isn't it. This isn't who I'm meant to be. He looked around and saw people chasing comfort, stable jobs, predictable lives, safe careers. But Reed wasn't chasing safe. He was chasing significance. Not a position in a company, but a position to change things. He didn't want to live a life that just worked. He wanted a life that mattered. And in a quiet act of rebellion, he stepped off the track everyone else called wise. He stopped describing his life the way others expected and started designing it around freedom, creativity, and real impact. When Reed launched his first tech startup, the room stayed quiet. No applause, no investors rushing in. Instead, the whispers started. You're a maths guy. You're not built for business. Leave startups to the real entrepreneurs. But Reed didn't argue. He didn't waste energy proving himself to doubters. He turned inward and spoke belief into his own bones. He said, I'm building something the world doesn't understand yet. Not in arrogance, but in quiet certainty. Even when the product flopped, even when the press ignored it, even when success looked far away, he kept showing up. He didn't wait for a green light from the world. He gave himself permission. He didn't say, I'll start once the funding arrives. He said, it's already happening. That's not ego. That's vision in motion. That's the mindset of someone who doesn't wait to be picked. They pick themselves. Shifting the mindset. People called him reckless, said he was gambling his future. But Reed knew something they didn't. If I don't take control of my life now, someone else always will. He stopped asking for permission, started asking better questions. What if I fail? Became, what if I never try? What if I lose money? Became, what if I waste my whole life playing it safe? The breakthrough. At 37, while others were still tweaking their CVs and hoping for a promotion, Reed took a bold leap. He launched something the world hadn't seen before. No late fees, no physical stores, no safety net, just a vision. People scoffed. They said, that's not how entertainment works. It's too risky. It'll never take off. But Reed didn't flinch. He wasn't chasing approval. He was chasing possibility. He built something real, something he could call his own. Not a job someone handed him, but a future he designed brick by brick. Because Reed didn't wait for the world to get it. He built it anyway. And eventually, the world followed. Rising above. He read endlessly, studied leaders, made bold bets. No one understood what he was doing, but he didn't care. Started from scratch. No fancy office, no Hollywood support, just a rented DVD machine and a belief that the internet could change everything. He failed, again and again, but every failure was feedback. He didn't give up, because every time he fell, he learned more than business school ever could have taught him. What we learned from this video, just a quick reminder. The safe path isn't always the right one. What looks smart on paper, like a job, a degree, or a stable life, might actually be keeping you small. True growth lives outside the comfort zone. You don't need permission to start. Reed didn't wait for applause, investors, or approval. He moved before the world was ready. You don't need anyone's permission to begin, just belief in your vision. Your mindset shapes your outcome. He rewrote his inner questions. What if I fail? Became, what if I never try? Your success begins when you shift the way you think. Failures are feedback, not final. Reed faced rejection, flops, and slow beginnings, but every fall sharpened his direction. Every mistake became a lesson. Resilience was his greatest asset. Success follows alignment. He aligned his thoughts, words, and actions around a single mission and stuck with it. That's what transformed Netflix from a DVD rental to a global giant. Okay, now tell me what I'm thinking. And if you're ready to take control of your own future, if you're done following the script, then we have something for you. If this story lit a spark in you, that's not an accident. You're ready for more. I've built a free guide to help you take control of your path, the exact mindset and strategy we use to help creators, founders, and misfits design their own freedom. The link is in the bio.